Bullying is a big issue that kids face often. It can be verbal, emotional, physical, or cyber. A majority of the bullying happens on the internet, where people can hide behind a screen and not face the person that they are saying hurtful things to. Have you ever seen cyberbullying?
Yes.
Yeah, like over text and Twitter.
Yes.
How often do you see it occur?
Not very often. I mean, the last big case I saw was a couple months ago.
A lot.
Weekly.
What do you do to stop it?
Not big time. I report when it escalated. I reported the person because it was getting way out of hand. But I mean, if I see something that's not my business, I won't really say anything.
Usually you try to avoid it and then stick up for somebody if necessary.
Block the people who are doing bullying.
What can we do to prevent it from happening?
If everyone just doesn't start drama and we all just learn to be nice to each other.
Think before you send.
Be nice to other people.
Cyberbullying happens over many different social media platforms. It happens over text. It happens on Twitter. It happens on Instagram. Cyberbullying can be really hurtful to teenagers' mental health. It targets their insecurities and lowers their self-confidence. I am here with Atlee's first-year counselor, Ms. Shapiro, to get her professional opinion on cyberbullying. How often does cyberbullying happen at Atlee?
So it's kind of hard to give a specific answer to that question. We definitely see students coming in with cases of cyberbullying that get brought to our attention, both here in the counseling office and with the administrative team. It all just kind of depends though, because it's not necessarily happening at Atlee, it might be Atlee students that's happening outside of Atlee. And so what's tricky is just figuring out how much of it is impacting the students here at school versus just outside of school, and also making sure that we have the evidence we need to kind of work with those cases. So Snapchat is what we see the most often, which unfortunately means that we often don't have the evidence, so to speak. So a student will bring a case in and I say, can you show me, or can you show me the pictures? And they say, no, it's on Snapchat. And then it's hard for us to move forward with either the student that brought the information in or the student that needs our help, because a lot of the times that's that evidence that we need to move forward and kind of end the situation.
From a professional standpoint, what advice would you give a student being cyberbullied?
My advice would be to tell an adult. While your friends are great, they don't often have the power to make change happen. So whether that's a parent, and that means that they come to the school telling the school counselor, an administrator, our school resource officer, and we all have a little bit more jurisdiction in terms of separating students need to be separated, or contacting parents and making sure that they're aware of what's going on, maybe getting outside resources like counseling services if the situation's gotten to a point where the student is being affected mentally and their ability to perform as a student is being hindered.
What should a student do if they see someone else being cyberbullied?
They should do the same thing. They should tell a trusted adult. And I would also say for any student that sees it happening, don't be afraid to say something. You can say, you shouldn't say that, or get out of a group chat where you see that it's happening. So it's basically, you don't want to be associated with it if it has nothing to do with you. So if your name is somewhere in that group chat or somewhere in that thread, I would make sure to steer clear as best you can and let somebody know that can actually help a student that's in trouble.